Today on Ask the Oracle, I'm really excited because we have the stunning Jenny Zakrzewski. And today our beautiful topic is a cosmic dive, master channeling and awakening starseed gifts with the absolutely gorgeous Jenny Zakrzewski. Jenny is a master channeler, psychic teacher, and spiritual business mentor, guiding star seeds through their awakening. As the visionary behind Starseed Academy, she helps lightworkers unlock their divine gifts, step into their earthly mission, and build thriving soul empires that radiate freedom, fulfillment, and abundance. Yay! Hi, Jenny. How are you, my love?
I'm so good, Suzy. Thank you so much for having me.
It's just an absolute honor and a privilege to have you on Ask the Oracle today. I adore your work and I'm excited to delve deep into these gorgeous questions with you as well. So let's get started.
Sounds good.
Okay, so my first topic, which is really exciting, is awakening and soul origins. Let's talk a little bit about Starseed 101. How does someone know they're a star seed, and what clues does their cosmic origin reveal about their earthly mission?
Ooh, I love this question. So I really believe that the important thing to look at here is awakened starseed, because an awakened starseed is someone that actually resonates with the fact that they are the eternal soul within the human character that they're playing, and may even have memories from those past galactic lives in different places within the universe. That would be an awakened starseed. However, an unawakened starseed is literally everyone, and I hope that doesn't trigger anyone too much, but I've got to say I've done thousands of readings and I have never seen a soul that didn't have another lifetime off world, off Earth. So, what's your definition of starseed? I would say a soul that has had lifetimes off world, right? In some other place. And in that space, then you could even say angels are starseeds, that they are technically like a galactic or an interdimensional being. And so everyone in my book is a starseed, but an awakened starseed is someone who starts to go, becomes a seeker and starts to really search for why am I here? What does it all mean? What is it for? That is the sign of a starseed. Someone who, and I remember being very young and having this feeling very much physical in the solar plexus, this urgency, this pushing from within of you're here to do something, remember your mission, you're here to make a difference, you're here to help people. And at the beginning, you don't actually remember exactly what it is most of the time. And so that can create anxiety a little bit, like, oh, what is it? What is it? And you might hop jobs a lot. That's another big sign of a starseed. They hop jobs a lot. They
Right.
even move a lot too. So those are all signs of your searching for that thing.
You're beautiful. Beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about moments of truth. What was the single most transformative event in your awakening journey, Jenny?
I've had so many, but I'll go to my Kundalini awakening, where you have this rising up of your, I want to call it oversoul consciousness. Not just your highest self, your highest human self. It's so much bigger than that. It's the part of you that is outside of incarnations. It's a part of you
Right.
that is outside of dimensions, lifetimes. It's a part of you that's almost like that source, that mini God, right? And so that oversoul consciousness can rise up through the body. And you can, when you research Kundalini rising, it's amazing how everyone explains it exactly the same. Suddenly you have this rushing feeling rise up through your body, out the crown, up the top of your head. And following that, you have this unbelievable moment where you probably will hear yourself say things like, I am everything. Like, oh my God, I am that, I am that, I am that. You see yourself in everything, you've become everything in that moment. Because when you reconvene, send your consciousness up to the oversoul, that's life forces in everything, every plant, every animal, everything. There's a transcendence to that moment that you never forget. And I have had multiple of those. I would say, just so people know, that the term that's popular is Kundalini awakening, but it feels to me more like oversoul awakening. So
I love that.
either way that you look at it, you're returning back to God's self, and you feel like I am everything. And it's such a huge frequency, you can't hold it very long. The first one, maybe you hold a few days, and then after that, maybe you have another one you hold a little bit shorter. Like, I've had multiple, and the biggest one was the biggest shift for me. I remember going into like physical shock. My body was shaking. Like, I felt like shocky, in the body, like, as a very
Yeah.
big reaction. And I stayed in a very weird state for a few days. And then the next time it visited me, it wasn't such a shock to the system, because I'd been working on raising my frequency, letting go of harmful substances at that time in my life, letting go of alcohol, letting go of this, letting go of that. So now every time that it revisits me, now it just feels good. It feels like a humming feeling. It feels like, again, something that you can see a lot of people online saying that experienced as well, for me, was there's a lot of like laughter that comes along with that. It's interesting because it's such an overwhelming feeling. You'll have these tears of gratitude that turn into laughter, and that's a very big
Yeah.
thing. Because, like, I think it's a Buddha quote that says, once you've reached enlightenment, the only thing to do is have a good laugh. And the laughter comes from this mentality of, you look down from this higher perspective at your life and you realize there was nothing to worry about. It was all divinely orchestrated. Oh, I got chills when I said that. Like, there's nothing at all to stress about. There's nothing to worry about. It was already divinely orchestrated. You couldn't go wrong. You can't make a wrong decision. Like, it's all for you. All the lessons, everything is for you. Everything that shows up on your path, it's for you. It's
I
either
love that
medicine,
so
a
much.
lesson,
Yeah.
or a blessing. Like, it's for you. So yeah, that is definitely the biggest shifts in consciousness that I've experienced, are these oversoul awakenings.
Oh, I love the way you explain that. It's happening for you, not to you, for your own spiritual ascension, your own spiritual growth. Oh, absolutely. And I have to say that I have a connection to the stars, to the Pleiades and to the blue avians. And yeah, yep. So, I love how like attracts like, love attracts love. And, we find those people that we really align to. So I just thought I'd mention that as well.
Yeah, I definitely attract to me people with the same kind of maybe want to call it starseed origins or frequency, because, like, I have a ton of blue avian guides and energy myself, so it's so weird that you just said that. But I also have a lot of Andromedan. I've had lifetimes in Andromeda, and I tend to collect a lot of Andromedans, and blue avians, and randomly ancient civilizations. Always these people are coming to me from ancient
Oh,
Egypt, souls from ancient Egypt, from Lemuria, from Atlantis. I
absolutely. Yeah.
very much radiate that and call that in.
You very much radiate that.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It's so obvious to me. Yeah, I love that. And I love the way you explained that we're all star seeds, right? We all
Yeah.
come from the stars. That is actually scientific and spiritual. So I love it when spirit and matter merge. And as you said, some of us are awake to it and some of us not quite so much, but that's okay. Beautiful. So let's dive into mastering soul gifts and channeling. The first topic is the gift versus the skill. I'm really curious as to your kind of take on this. Is channeling an innate, inborn ability? Can anyone do it? Can anyone learn to connect with the higher realms, do you think?
I think that So the foundation of all spiritual gifts, including channeling, is the clairs. So clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. And for anyone listening, I'm sure they do know what that is if they're in your audience, but if not, it's being able to see, hear, feel, and know what is happening beyond your own world, what energy is doing, what spirit is communicating to you. So spiritual beings and higher dimensional beings communicate through these four main channels. And so we all have those clairs built into our chakra system. So we have a third eye, clairvoyance. We have ear chakras above our physical ears, clairaudience, which is telepathy. We have clairsentience throughout our entire body, which is the ability to feel energy, and claircognizance comes through the crown chakra. So yes, it is built in, but you can't just it takes training. Like maybe some
Yes.
people have it naturally, but most people lean into one clair more than the other. And to be a master channeler, not just a channeler that is clean, ethical, pure, not from the ego, you need all four clairs online working together, because when you layer the clairs, you can't misinterpret the message. So I would say there is a training, and I do this with people, literally take them to through certified courses and training to figure that out and to help them to get there. So it starts with the clairs.
Oh, absolutely. It so starts with the clairs, and you're quite right. Most of my audience, if not all of my audience, would know what they are. So you're in the right place. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the mastery path. What distinguishes a master channeler from other psychic practices, do you think? I find this
Yeah.
quite fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, so the mastery of it is the accuracy and the sheer detail and the wow moments you bring your clients, and that you are not channeling from your own programming, from your own ego, or from your own opinion at all. That you truly become this channel, this tool, this spiritual tool, this cosmic telephone line for spirit and higher dimensional beings. And when you get into that mastery of it and you learn my method of layering the clairs, you can channel anything. So what does a medium do? They're just channeling past loved ones. What does, a galactic channeler do? Well, they're just channeling the federations and the councils of the higher dimensions. What does a spirit guide readings? Well, they're just channeling spirit guide. You can channel higher self. You can channel a plant. You could channel a tree. You could channel
Yes.
a civilization. There's nothing you cannot channel when you are a master of channeling. Again, like any timeline, any realm, any being, any location, there's information to be had. And so when you reach that level, it's all open to you. It's all available to you. Change your life, change your business, especially.
Oh, yes. Layering the clairs, merging the clairs, and, really kind of opening up to that. I love that so much that yeah, that you guide others to really fully embrace that. That's magnificent. I love that so much. So, deepening the connection. What techniques amplify, clarify, if you like, to receive this guidance from higher dimensions? I feel like you've answered that, but yeah, have you got any more to kind of add to that?
So I want to say, yeah, something is coming through. I want to say that you're not just, so for the people listening, you're not just here to be a channeler, like a general channeler or an energy healer. You actually have your own very specific cosmic niche, spiritual specialty. I want to call it even spiritual technology. And the people that come to me find out, we're not all meant to be the same kind of channeler. We're not all meant to be the same kind of energy worker, healer, activator. You have a very specific mission if you're a starseed. It is so specific, it's crazy. And I want to give an example. Someone came to me and said, I think I'm an energy healer. That's what I've been doing. I'm trained in Reiki, but something just isn't clicking quite right. Like something feels off, like there's more, and I don't know what it is. So she comes to me to find out what her spiritual technology is. And it turns out she is this galactic diviner, which means that
Oh,
she has
wow.
the ability to see like down the timeline how things are going to work out for people. So she can work with her clients, and do this inside of mentorship and see, okay, the timeline path that you're on right now, here's the kinds of things that are coming up for you, almost like divining prophecy. And if that is something that you want to have happen, here's how we stay on track to that. And if it's not, we need to shift timelines. We need to shift frequency. We need to move things. We need to change. So the ability for her to foresee timeline, um, like again, like prophecy, like divining, like through that. And she did it in a very her technology was very specific through the ancestral realm. She was working with Lyrans, which is galactic, and ancestors and timeline, probabilities with her clients. That is so specific. And you came to me thinking, I'm just another Reiki healer, I'm just another kind of healer. Like, no, I'm telling you, every single person that I see, there's something extremely specific that is their technology that you can't learn in a course, that you are here to do and then teach to others. It's your own modality, it's your own method. That is the highest path for a starseed, to bring your own modality and method through, your own technology through, to serve the collective, but then to teach it to others, which is so beautiful.
That is absolutely brilliant. I love that so much, the way you explained that. Everyone has the most extraordinary gifts and mission, and yeah, and I love that you also encourage people to teach it as well. One thing that really kind of stuck out to me with the previous question too was that you explained that everything has a language. And I love that so much because I love light language. I love, starseed language and all of that. But, our beautiful Earth Mother has a language as well. Everything has the most sacred language. I love that you explained that. I really resonate with that. So
Yeah.
good. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about this living your earth mission. And I love that you have this practical, pragmatic way to anchor it to the earth as well. So it's not just your mission, it's your spiritual business as well. So with our beautiful new earth builders, how do star seeds continue to, shift the paradigm on earth?
So I believe it starts where we've been chatting so far, in the discovery of what that spiritual technology is that you're here to bring through. And alongside that, what comes through for my clients is who their specific ideal client is, like your cosmic niche, who you're here to serve. Once you have that figured out, then it's all about getting really confident in your gifts. Let's practice together. Let's build out what it looks like. What do you do inside session with your client, right? So you need to like discover what it is, but then actually get good at it. Practice,
Yeah.
do it with your clients, your friends, your families, your anyone that you're in like a container with, like have them sit as guinea pigs for your new method, and get to a place where you understand it and you feel confident. Then it's time to bring it to the millions, to the masses, to the collective, and do that through offering your gifts and service to others, right? Through beautiful containers, multiple containers. Once you start being paid abundantly for your gifts and you fully come out of the spiritual closet, the psychic closet, as who you truly are, that is a new earth leader. Because a new earth leader is not hooked into the 9 to 5 programming, which is like slave programming. It
Yeah.
has a bad intention behind it.
Yeah.
And really, once you start to get paid abundantly just for your gifts and for who you are authentically, that is what new earth is supposed to look like, where everyone is doing something different. Everyone has a piece of the puzzle, and everyone is in their truth, and everyone is feeling very fulfilled by their work, paid abundantly for their work. You will never be paid as abundantly as when you get into this frequency. You would never make that kind of have the kind of fulfillment, the kind of freedom, or the kind of abundance as when you're truly on your path, your starseed mission, we could call it.
Beautiful. Love that so much. I love that you talked about, in my words, discernment, not knowing the difference between our programming and our conditioning, and, really kind of aligning to our true starseed mission. So beautiful. I love that so much. So let's talk a little bit about, I don't like the word blocks, but you know how people use the word blocks, and, often people come to me, they say, I'm so blocked, with fear or whatever. So let's talk a little bit about the fear factor. What's the biggest block holding spiritually gifted people back from stepping fully into their light, fully into their mission? Yeah.
There's a couple that I would name. So I think one of the most common ones that is sneaky is that your mind is so noisy that you can't hear the subtleties of spirit trying to communicate with you.
Yeah.
If you are constantly in racing thoughts in your mind, then you can't hear what spirit is saying. You can't see the visions that they're sending. Psychic gifts, when you are a beginner, are extremely subtle. It gets louder, it does. It gets louder, it gets bolder, but at the beginning, it's so subtle that you need to be able to get into your sacred space and actually quiet down the mind in order to actually receive. So that would be the number one block, which is not difficult or complicated, yet it is, because that's something that people really struggle with, is just learning how to quiet their mind, right? But then when we get into like the energetic blocks, you're right, fear and traumas are what it is. So it's inner child wounds, it's past life, akashic trauma, witch wounds, and it's ancestral patterns. Those are the three that I see the most.
Oh, perfect. Okay, let's talk a little bit about, how do we thrive, not just survive? So, thriving beyond 3D, what key mindset shift helps spiritual entrepreneurs, soulpreneurs, if you like, build a really heart-centered business aligned with their soul's purpose?
So it's important not to fall into the 3D trappings of the way that business is done in the 3D, which is very much like almost like shallow in a meaningful way. Like there's not a lot of meaning to it. It's all about metrics. It's all about the sale, getting the sale, and it's just not the same heart and purpose behind it. When you make the foundation of your business your why are you doing it? You can't lose sight of that, because if you lose sight of your why, things go off the rails. It needs to mean something to you. It can't, it needs to feel like a purpose, like a mission, like your why. And also I think the foundation of your business should be around your own specific soul gifts, spiritual technology. What you are specifically here to do should run through everything, all of the offers. The way that I am such a strong channeler, that runs through everything that I do. There's not one
Yes,
offer where it's not a piece of that offer, where I'm not using that gift. So your gifts will balance out, will keep your soul signature inside of your business. Your business is like an extension of you. So again, in the 3D, they say it's just business. It's not personal, la, la, la. That's not for you, Starseed. Your business is personal. It feels like an extension of who you are. And because of that, it really does help you to grow. It can mirror for you, become this mirror of what's going on inside. So when you have a slow month, I can promise you that there's something going on within. That if you're losing momentum, you're either in a transformation period or you're struggling with something that you're purging. It can really show you. Becoming becoming a business owner and my own CEO, nothing has shown me more powerfully that my business is just a reflection of my inner environment. And what a lesson that is.
what a lesson that is. That's a beautiful, beautiful way to describe it. I love that so much. So let's talk a little bit about, okay, universal whispers. So if the universe could deliver one profound message to humanity, to the collective right now, what would it be, Jenny?
That every single person that you meet and interact with is just you playing a different role. It's you, like you're me and I am you, and we are all just the one soul learning through playing, what is it, 9 billion humans on Earth,
Yeah.
learning through playing 9 billion roles simultaneously, because the oversoul can handle that. That will help you to arrive at compassion instead of anger when you live in a world that can be quite dark, right? For people to understand that that bad guy, in quotations, is just you that grew up in a much more different experience, that had it really hard, or that faced a lot of trauma, or that whatever. And that within at the core of each soul, there is light, there is good there. And it's important to remember that on Earth. On Earth is a very advanced school, and we lose sight of this truth. And it's very important for you to remember that though all souls have a unique soul signature, soul blueprint, due to the fact that we have all had these, hundreds of lifetimes, thousands of lifetimes. It makes us very unique. But under the layers of all the lifetimes at the core is that spark, is that same place that you came from, is that same soul. And so, yes, there can be evil acts and evil exists, but I truly don't believe that there are evil souls, just evil acts, so I think that's a bit heavy, sorry, but it's like
No, it's
important to
not. It's good.
it's
Yeah.
important to remember that you just keep meeting yourself
Yeah.
over and over and over again. And so it's like we're all in it together. And it's important. I think that why I really want to talk about this is because I do feel in the spiritual community, or that, new age, that there's a lot of hierarchy,
Hmm.
and that's not helpful. Where
Yes.
somebody that is awakened is looking on the unawakened, again, quotation marks, as lesser than. They're sheeple, they're still plugged in, they're this, they're that, they're not, they're NPCs, non-player characters, they're all these
Oh,
things.
I know.
But that's not true,
Yeah.
because there is a divine timing to your awakening, and theirs will come. And you can't rush that. And you're not here to force people awake. You're here to love people. You're here to love people, and through that they will awaken. But you're not here to force the awakening before it's ready. I have seen in my mind's eye very clearly that waves of awakening sweep over the planet like an ocean wave. They go over the planet, like in 2020, a huge wave of awakening went over the planet. So many people awakened. But we can't all awaken at once because the infrastructure cannot handle that. It
Exactly.
would be chaos. It would be the timeline we don't want to end up, which looks apocalyptic. So we
Absolutely.
awaken in our divine time. So
Yeah.
where's the judgment coming from? It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense, right?
Yes. What I loved about what you said, by the way, so profound and so beautifully expressed, is that, we don't want to create more separateness, because we truly are one consciousness, one soul. And when you fully understand that, of course, you're going to have more compassion, you know. When you have an understanding of that, there's a beautiful, expansive energy in around that. And I love that you explained that hierarchical kind of structure within the spiritual community, because we are all equal on this journey. And anything that kind of, dims the light on that is just creating more separateness, more fear. It's just not helpful, right?
Yeah, and I think that we could use this as a guiding compass when you're trying to navigate that very confusing spiritual space, especially at the beginning of your awakening. Why not look for, if something has the feeling or the frequency of separation in it, it's not of the light, right? And it's not to judge the person delivering that transmission or the message of separation. They may not even know that they're doing it, right? It's about, but if you can sense, okay, that's creating us versus them, that is actually not unity consciousness, and that's not where
Exactly.
we're headed as a society. New Earth is about unity consciousness, and some people call this Christ consciousness. You can call it whatever you like. You can call it 5D, call it whatever you want. It's just about we all respect one another equally, and we know that every single person has a piece of the puzzle to make the larger picture, right?
Exactly.
So yeah,
Everyone's significant. Yeah.
so use that as a guiding compass, a guiding light. Going forward, when you're in the spiritual, online space, if it's filled with fear frequency, if it's filled with separation or us versus them, it's not for you. Unfollow. Clean up your energy, because what you consume is not just what you eat and drink. You are consuming what you look at online. That's a level of consumption, and we become what we consume. Right? So if you are consuming and your feed is filled with this, you will become that which you expose yourself to. So be very careful. Protect your third eye, protect your gifts, protect yourself, protect your frequency above all else, and just unfollow and clean it up and keep yourself in that pristine, I'm here for the unity. I'm here to be a lighthouse. I'm here to talk about love, you know? And as cheesy
Yes.
as it is, love is truly the answer to all of the problems.
Oh, absolutely. At the end of the day, that's all we really have, right? Is love. And yeah, it's such a beautiful frequency. So let's have a little look here. Most magical moments. What is the most jaw-dropping, mystical experience you've had as a psychic and master channeler?
I decided to go on a little personal journey of trans channeling, where instead of the way that I would normally channel is I would, using my clairs, interpret for my client, okay, I'm seeing this, I'm hearing this, I'm feeling this, I'm knowing this, your guides are showing me this, they're saying this. It's super accurate and detailed. But I decided to go and immerse myself for a time because I was being called to in what I call trans channeling, where you actually allow this higher dimensional being to come into your body, to come in, and you take a back seat in the consciousness as the observer. You don't disappear. This isn't trance channeling, it's trans channeling. So trance channeling is people have no recollection of what just happened.
Yes.
I don't like that. I
Yeah.
personally am not.
Yeah.
I am here to be in my body at all times. I'm the human being and I don't want to give that up. I feel like that's not a good idea, but I am okay to be taking a back seat and being the observer and allowing a beautiful higher dimensional being to come and have a chance to express themselves through me. So that means literally they can move your hands, move your head, depending on how much you allow, maybe even get up and walk around. I didn't do that, but at least giving them, like movement of hands, head, neck, and allowing them to use my voice and face to truly speak and express through me. That was probably the most intense thing that I've ever done. I did this with a seraphim angel. So this is the highest angelic realms. Her name was Citadel. And I don't know what I thought it was going to be like, but it's certainly not what I experienced. I thought with a name like Citadel, she was going to be, or he, I didn't know if it had a gender, was going to have this like very powerhouse spiritual warrior citadel. It's like a cathedral, or like a, I don't know, like a
Yeah.
powerhouse feeling, right? But instead, what I got, always you get what you need. Instead, what I got was the sweetest little innocent childlike soul who was so silly and so playful and so not my brand, like so not on brand for me. It was very challenging. So it challenged me to go back into silliness, the inner child, and obviously when you bring a being into your body, it's very different than just channeling their thoughts and consciousness. It starts to shift your, oh, it's like to hold that amount in your body. It really, like, my teeth would chatter, my body would shake. Like it's like you're trying to house something that is so high, much higher than you. There's a lot of physical experiences and symptoms that go along with that, but ultimately it really shifted me deeply back into this very pure, like place of a soul that had never incarnated on earth, thought everything was so entertaining, thought everything was funny, thought everything was silly. And I remember some of my first sessions with her that I didn't release the videos of, just her trying to integrate in a physical way before we even were ready to bring through a channeled
Yeah.
message. It's not just about me trying to get used to it. It was also about her. And
Yeah.
so she was like, coming into a human body for the first time was the most hilarious thing to her. She was laughing like through me. So all of a sudden, fits of giggles, fits of laughter. She was stomping her feet. She was squealing with like just so excited about life. And so it took many sessions of just allowing her to stomp my feet and laugh before she could even calm down enough to like come through with some messages. So if anyone's really curious, I have an Instagram and a TikTok channel called Channeling Citadel. You can go and meet that
Oh, I'm
soul.
definitely
Really,
looking that up.
really
Definitely.
so different from my personality. I tend to be kind of serious, and like,
Yeah.
I tend to be in this, I don't know, maybe serious is the right word. I don't know, just more like serious about the way that I do my personality, I guess. And just it was so not me. I could not have been more uncomfortable posting those videos, but I was so
Oh, I love
so
that. The growth in that.
oh
Amazing.
yeah.
And laughter is so high vibrational. And the
Yeah.
innocence of a child is just pure love. And that inquisitiveness and that playfulness and the way you explained that. Yeah,
And
that's
just seeing
just
things through
so
her eyes,
fascinating. I'm definitely looking that up. That's so cool.
seeing
So
things through her
beautiful.
eyes, seeing
Yeah,
things through her perspective, seeing things through that.
right.
It was
Yes.
very enlightening.
Ah, absolutely. No, I'm definitely looking that up. That sounds just so beautiful. Well, my love, it's been an absolute delight talking to you today. I know our listeners are going to get so much from this. It's been just sensational. So, how I'm going to put all of Jenny's details in the show notes. Highly recommend you look this magnificent channel up. But yeah, how can we find you, my love?
So I think the place that's easiest is probably Instagram, Starseed Academy with the blue check. And then the website is starseedacademy.live. And then I think something that I put the most underrated part of my business is my YouTube channel. It is so freaking good. I gotta say, it's like master classes for free, one after the other one. Like these videos go so deep,
Right. Okay.
go beyond like what it is to be spiritual in a star seed or to be a manifester or the sovereign creator of your reality. There's so much learning and insights to be had. So go check out YouTube Starseed Academy as well.
Infinite heartfelt blessings to you. I have so much gratitude for you coming on today. I'm so glad we connected. Thank you so much, my love.
Thank you.